Get excited and dance your new friend around the room. You try to resist the urge to celebrate. You fail to resist the urge. You take Amisia by her tiny hands and twirl her around the studio. Or you try to. You forgot about your busted ribs. You sure are doing that a lot. You let go of Amisia and go careening into one of the tables, thankfully not the one covered in art supplies. You hit the corner and go down onto your already incredibly sore ass. This is what you get for acting like a huge fucking tool in front of your new friend.
Are you okay? Was that some sort of ritualistic rite of healing I've never heard of before?
You shrug against the floor. Amisia leans down and picks you up in a bridal carry, despite the fact that she's about half your size. It makes your ribs hurt, but what doesn't nowadays? Amisia lays you down on a weird, lumpy couch.
Are you sure you're okay? You look a little...
She trails off to nothing. She's looking at your left arm, which you've draped over yourself awkwardly to sort of try to hold your torso together.
That color...
At first you think she means the color of your skin, which is different than her light gray. Then you think she means the truly fantastic buffet of bruises you got going on. But then you realize that in your prancing idiocy, you've managed to scrape up the inside of your arm. Blood oozes sluggishly from the wound. Amisia dredges a finger through it. You're half expecting her to put it in her mouth and for this to become a whole cannibal situation. Well, since you aren't the same species, it wouldn't really be cannibalism, but still, no thanks. Instead, Amisia just holds her finger up, the drop of blood trembling on the tip.
This color! I've never seen anything like it!
She dashes off to one of her tables, pulling over a sketchbook and dragging her finger down it. Your blood paints a rusty line down the center. She lets out a little squeak of excitement.
This is amazing!
What? Red?
Not red! There's a million dirty little rusties swarming all over this city. I'm drowning in red. This is crimson. It's incredible. You must be some sort of mutant. You're really lucky I found you instead of one of the drones.
Lucky? You? Yes, very lucky. The luckiest. Though your arm is healed and you're out of whatever doubtlessly weird weather happens on this planet, maybe Amisia's right. Maybe you are lucky. You close your eyes and try to breathe. Zen yourself out. Really center yourself in your own body and all that garbage. Then you open your eyes and wow, you aren't centered anymore! In fact, you roll completely to the left as you try to get away from Amisia, who is back and standing over you with a gigantic axe.
Watch out!
Amisia grabs you, drags you back up onto the couch, and plants her hand on your solar plexus, effectively pinning you down.
You'll hurt yourself if you keep flopping around like a beach blubber beast. You want to be friends, don't you? You want to help me with my artistic aspirations, right?
You get the feeling that she might be trying to manipulate you. Just the tiniest little suspicion. It's possible Amisia has recognized your intense craving for companionship and is trying to exploit it. You don't like being suspicious of a new friend, but that is a pretty big axe.
I don't know what's got you so worried. I just want to show you my axe.
Oh, of course, makes sense. It is a really nice axe. You hold out your hand for it, but of course it is too heavy for you and your hands are all sweaty and you fumble it. Fumble the really sharp weapon. Amisia tries to catch it before it's too late, and somehow in all the wriggly struggle you end up getting cut. Like, very cut. Across both your wrists. In fact, you don't think she could have aimed even better if she'd been trying.
Oh dear.
Hard agree.
Don't struggle. You'll only hurt yourself more, silly. You don't want that, do you?
No, you definitely don't want that. Not after what a Butterfingers you've proven to be. Amisia gets up to put the axe down and you kind of lose track of her for a little while. You are bleeding all over her couch and everything around you starts to go shiny and unreal. She comes back with a couple little jars that she uses to catch her blood. That's a good idea. You sure are making a mess. You wonder if they're specifically blood jars. They look like jam jars. Alien jam. Space Jam. God, you love that movie. It's been so long since you've seen it. Definitely the best PG movie about basketball. Way better than the one with the dog and the clown. Do they even have basketball here? You ask Amisia. She just shushes you and brushes your hair back off your forehead. She keeps smiling and saying comforting things. God, she's such a good friend. Before too long, you do what it's honestly a goddamn shock you haven't done before now. You pass out. When you come to, you are propped up against the wall in a weird way that you wouldn't love even if you weren't an invalid, and both of your arms are jammed in the hole in the wall. The med hole, the glory hole of well-being, the magical sphincter. You grunt and pull your arms back out. They're healed. The cuts on your wrists are just 2 faded pink lines. You take a step away from the wall and immediately hit the ground. You may not be actively dying anymore, but you did just lose like half the blood in your body. Gosh, you're tired. A little giggle makes you turn around, or roll over since you were still on the floor and probably not getting up anytime soon. It's fine. You've met worse floors in your life. Amisia is sitting at one of her easels, her hair pulled back beneath a scarf and little round glasses perched on her nose. A jar of your blood sits next to her, and as you watch, she dips a brush in.
I'm glad you're awake. I was a little worried I'd actually killed you back there.
She laughs, and you laugh along with her. It's very funny. Actually, everything is funny right now. It's probably the blood loss. You ask her what she's painting.
You, of course. You inspired me.
Well, right now it just looks like a bunch of red squiggles and some lines, but she only got started. She's warming up. She sits there on her stool, looking at her palette and chewing on her lip thoughtfully. She looks somewhat nervous.
Actually, I want to show you something. Something I've never shown anyone else.
She leaps up from her stool and crosses the studio. You roll to your other side to keep her in your line of sight. You really hope she isn't getting another Space Jam jar. She starts turning around the canvases one by one. They are all blank, except for one, which has a little... No, wait, that's just a shadow. Every single one of them is blank. You aren't sure you understand. You ask her if these are all just new canvases that she has not gotten the chance to paint on yet. Amisia sighs.
No, I've had them for forever. I'm just not a real painter. There, I said it!
She buries her face in her hands, talking from between her fingers.
I'm really good at all the other parts. The materials and the studio. I even make all my own paints. But I just can never do the actual sitting down and doing art part.
She just looks so despondent. You wish you could do something, but you don't really know that much about art, and you probably can't stand up yet. You tell her that she looks like she's moving in the right direction at least. You don't even have a studio or any brushes or stuff like that. Of course, you have no aspirations to being a painter, but you leave that part out.
That's just it! I feel inspired for the first time ever. I think it has to be your messed up, disgusting mutant blood. There's really no other explanation.
She takes a knee beside you, picking up one of your limp hands with hers. They're cold, like she's been pressing them to a glass window in winter.
Usually I just finish off my contributors quickly. I don't have time to deal with a bunch of injured blowbloods moaning around my studio. But I couldn't just use your blood up all at once. You're far too special for that.
You gaze at Amisia. A mist has descended over your vision, and it isn't even the mist of imminent death.
I have to keep this precious blood safe. I think you might be my muse.